Welcome to Damaging Ignorance. Damaging ignorance is important because whoever controls your language of discourse controls your reality. Every story has two sides to it. On this show, we challenge the dominant discourse of the weak. We challenge the dominant discourse not because our side is right, but because the other side is wrong. We offer you the actual position of things, and we are rarely wrong. And even when we are wrong, it is because we do not choose to be right.
Today we will put Chebukati and his incompetent CEO on trial in the court of public opinion. And the charge will be about contracting Smartmatic as a company that will electronically transmit the votes on August 9th. Our charge is simple. Chebukati and his CEO Marjan Hussein Marjar are either incompetent or smooth criminals. And this is why I say so. In August 2017, the CEO of Smartmatic admitted that their electronic system had manipulated the Venezuela election to the tune of 1 million votes. It is on record. In 2016, Smartmatic officials were found criminally liable for interfering with data in the Philippines election. The officials were charged, and in Uganda, the Smartmatic system failed during an election, and they had to resort to the manual register. Today, this company is the one to run our August 9th transmission of election results. And the question in my mind is this: if Smartmatic has such a history of failure, why contract them? And if the Supreme Court nullified the 2017 election partly because of irregularities in the transmission of results, why contract a company with a record of manipulation and irregularities? Is Chebukati setting us up for a nullification of the 2022 general election? We will pose the questions and provide the evidence. Then the verdict will be yours.
What level of due diligence did you do on Smartmatic International Corporation?
So before even award, there was actually due diligence that was actually done, and this actually involved going to places where actually they did the election before,
okay,
and to interview those specific countries where actually it happened,
okay,
and also going to the specific areas where this farm exists.
Okay.
So those are two things that were actually done, and this they produce a report in terms of what actually they observed.
Did you know that the Cybercrime Investigation and the Coordinating Center, CICC, in the Philippines after the 2016 elections called on Smartmatics? It compromised the elections which led to the election of President Rodrigo Duterte. Did you know that in Uganda, the biometric voter kits failed, forcing the election officials to revert to the manual voter system? Did you know that in Venezuela, in Latin America in 2017, Smartmatic on its own acknowledged that the turnout voter figures were manipulated by at least 1 million voters? Did you establish this before you awarded the contract?
No. These other news about that you are providing now are things that I was not even aware about.
So the report you awarded never cited these issues?
These issues were never cited.
But this is a company that is seriously indicted by a cybercrime agency of a country.
This, I think, it would require the company to respond, because I don't have a...
But you're already in agreement with them?
Yes, it's because this information did not even come to our attention. You're actually saying that, and it's not even confirmed. This probably will be based on information that you've been able to search maybe from the internet and the rest. And I think it would be proper at this particular time if this question can be actually directed to the respective company for them.
No.
Smartmatic has provided election technology and support services in Venezuela since 2004. Even in moments of deep political conflict and division, we have been satisfied that the voting process and the count has been completely accurate. It is therefore with the deepest regret that we have to report that the turnout numbers on Sunday, 30th of July for the Constituent Assembly in Venezuela were tampered with. Based on the robustness of our system, we know without any doubt that the turnout of the recent election for a National Constituent Assembly was manipulated. So what happened? Why can we stand by the results of previous Venezuelan elections, but we cannot endorse the elections held last Sunday? Our automated election system is designed to make it evident when results are manipulated. We estimate the difference between the actual participation and the one announced by the authorities is at least 1 million votes.
Did you know that the Cybercrime Investigation and the Coordinating Center, CICC, in the Philippines after the 2016 elections called on Smartmatic? It compromised the elections which led to the election of President Rodrigo Duterte?
No.
The Department of Justice finds Smartmatic and some personnel of the Commission on Elections criminally liable under the Cybercrime Prevention Act in connection with the May 2016 elections. Monokson explains why.
The Justice Department has found a probable cause to charge Smartmatic and COMELEC personnel for violation of the Cybercrime Prevention Act for script change during the national elections in May 2016. DOJ has found reason to indict Smartmatic's technical support team head Marlon Garcia and his subordinates Neil Baniqued and Mauricio Herrera. The Cybercrime Prevention Act penalizes unauthorized access of a computer system, intentional and reckless altering of computer data, and hindering or interfering a computer system without proper authority.
So what you're saying, what you're telling us is that the server is the one that dictates whether it will accept the message or not, irrespective of the time being used by the sender.
The time gives you the sequence of the action.
My God!
Sir,
your assurance was that anything that happens between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. would be reflected as 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I didn't know that 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. could be moved to 10 in the evening. Do you realize what a fool you have made,
sir,
of the legislators who passed this law?
I understand, sir. With all due respect, it's an unforeseen situation. It's one
unforeseen.
Yes, sir.
That was the principal guarantee that this would be an honest election. That we would know digitally what would happen during election day and during the election hours. You had us standing here guaranteeing to the public and the world that even if fraud is committed, we would be able to trace it. We never said that fraud could not be committed. But you said we could trace it. And now you tell me that at 10 in the evening you could do it and we would never know. Unforeseen.
Slide. As you can see, a transmission activity was captured as early as May 8, 2016, one day before the election, the voting. As you can see, a transmission activity was captured as early as May 8, 2016, one day before the election, the voting. The early transmission activity continued until May 9, 2016 in the morning, prior to the official conduct of the elections.
I'm with you, to the Majority Floor Leader. I am with you to stop the awarding of the election paraphernalia as well as the counting machines to Smartmatic, because there have been several elections already wherein they have not answered satisfactorily the questions of electoral fraud.
I would like to advise COMELEC now Hindi ko na lang hintayin, dispose of that Smartmatic and look for a new one that is free of fraud.
Now I will end with a question to William RUTO. It may appear unrelated, but in an election all things are related. RUTO told us that 1 million votes had been manipulated from the server that houses the voter register. I'll not ask him how he knew about it, or if it was true or the usual lies. But the unrelated thing that bothered me was the 1 million votes and how they were manipulated in our servers. If in the Philippines some results were transmitted 1 day before the election, anything is possible. The question in my mind, therefore, is this. If Smartmatic could manipulate results in Venezuela to the tune of 1 million votes, is there a relationship between this and the 1 million votes that William RUTO said were manipulated in our servers? What is the similarity here? And I ask this question because if Smartmatic does not deliver on this election, we'll have a nullification and the election could go on until April 2023 or even beyond. What's my point here? After watching the cases of Venezuela and Philippines, I have no faith in Smartmatic. And the question we must ask is whether Chebukati and Marjan Hussein Marjan are smooth criminals or downright incompetent. And the verdict on this question is yours.